What's up, everybody? It's Chris Merck, aka C Merck, coming at you live, fresh from Fanatics Fest. We're here at the hobby shop Beast Sports Cards and more up in Cumberland, Rhode Island.
What's happening, guys? I'm Randall, work here at Beast Sports Cards.
What's up, guys? This is Doobie, breaker at Beast Sports Cards. We'll go by Doobie M80 on Whatnot.
We didn't know what to expect. I've been to about 4 or 5 nationals now. I've set up at several card shows. You know, this was going to be something new for us. It was the first time they've ever done something like this. So I kind of like just was excited. I hope to do, better than your average card show, but I didn't expect it to be, like the show that just blew me away in terms of like the amount of volume that was coming into the show.
My expectations going into it, I knew it was going to be very sports, fan heavy. I figured a lot of kids, but once we got there, I was like super shocked.
Yeah, I didn't really know what to think going into the show, to be honest. There's a lot of people, a lot of different expectations of it. I think the show blew them out of the water.
Favorite moment, you can't really beat us winning tickets to the 2025 World Series. Initially, we weren't even going to get one of those hat boxes from Liz. We were looking at it and we were like, man, like $250 is kind of steep for like 3 hats. Like, I don't know if we want to do it. So we made a deal. We were like, hey, let's just get one today. We'll split it. We'll see what hats there's in there. We'll sell one. We'll both keep one, and then we'll split whatever cards. We'll sell them, whatever.
Randall all day, let's open it. I'm like, dude, I don't open things up till I get to the hotel. So we open up the hats. We're like, oh, Mickey Mantle. Oh, Vlad Guerrero. Oh, let's open up the pack. Oh, we got Garrett Cole Gold. We were like, all hyped already.
So we start like scratching off the scratch-off ticket, and they couldn't get it. And I was like, let me get a quarter, dude. So I run to the room, grab a quarter, picked it up, had it against the door, and I started scratching. And I was like, you have won 2 tickets. And Chris was like, get the hell out of here. You didn't win tickets. Stop playing.
I went over there thinking he was going to be like, psych.
And I'm like, dude, we're going to the fucking World Series, like jumping around. And he's like, what? No way. Then I hand it to him, and he just starts flipping out.
And then they said 2 tickets to the 2025 World Series. We were jumping around like we were like in the club.
Like I know the hotel like woke up and was like pissed off at us, but like we didn't care. It was insane. But that's probably my favorite moment.
That was probably the most exciting thing for the show for me. But what I really loved the most was how the athletes and the influencers were interacting with customers and dealers. People can say what they want about who was there and who wasn't there, but this was an experience like none other. Who would have imagined that Tom Brady would go up to who most people in the hobby know as the best Brady collector in the entire industry, a local Rhode Islander and a good friend of mine, Kev, the captain, went up to his table and literally bought 2 Tom Brady's and other cards off him and just talked about the hobby, talked about his autograph. Kev got to tell him he does this full time now because Brady's cards went like to the moon. It was unbelievable. And Jake Paul, Livy Dunn, the list go on. Penny Hardaway was there again. I didn't get to see him this time. Sad. But the 40-40 Club is back. Jay-Z. I got a picture of Jay-Z. He's like up on the balcony in the 40-40 Club. That was sick. The 40-40 Club coming back as a person who like grew up on 90s and 2000s hip hop. To see that club back was dope. I got a somebody hooked me up with the 40-40 sweatshirt. That's a Mitchell & Ness. That thing is fire. But yeah, that was probably my favorite thing, just to see the athletes walking around, whether or not they had security or not. They all didn't. You can only dream that someone will come up to your table and buy their own card, right? As a dealer, as a collector, when someone on eBay goes and says, hey, that's me, or hey, that's my son, everyone talks about those sales. It was happening live in person, so that was awesome.
I think the best moment of the show is the different vendors who a lot of us know each other just from breaking and from the community in general, all get to know each other a little better. That's my favorite part. Those guys from Miami, Arizona, Milwaukee, Indianapolis that I never really got a chance to meet in person. And we all got to kind of connect those dots, and a lot of us spent money at each other's tables, which is great.
So first and foremost, I would say that people need to realize that the Fanatics Fest and the National are 2 completely different things, right? Fanatics Fest is an experience. It's a card show built into an experience. So yes, there were athletes there. Every sport in New York was there, right? They were all represented. You had lids, you had Mitchell & Ness, you had artwork from like famous artists that work with Topps. Like this was a Fanatics event. This wasn't like a Panini event. This wasn't an Upper Deck event. This was a Fanatics event for you to go and experience what they do and what they provide. They had a sports book there. They had a club there. If that's what it was. Those are all their brands in one place. The National is a massive card show. One thing different, the National has a ton of memorabilia, right? Guess what? Fanatics Fest, limited memorabilia in terms of dealers. Different. Now, I would say that for those people bashing Fanatics Fest, fine, do your thing. But this isn't about if you like Michael Rubin or not. This is about if you enjoy cards, if you enjoy collecting things, if you enjoy selling and trading. That's what this is about. It's not about, oh, Michael Rubin's ruining the hobby. No, he's not. The hobby has never been hotter, okay? I can tell you this because whatever I told you what my expectations were, I tripled them in terms of what I thought I was going to sell. Triple, I might have actually 5x'd them. I don't even know the math right now, but I can tell you right now, every dealer I spoke to at this show said, holy shit. This was possibly the best card show I've ever been to. You have people going down WWE aisle, right? Coming out to like Cody Rhodes. They pretend they were Cody Rhodes. And then 20 minutes later, they were walking by your table. I don't really collect cards, but do you have any Cody Rhodes? Hey, Sabrina's signing today. I've never bought a card. Do you have any Sabrina rookies? FYI, I sold out every Sabrina, every Asia Wilson, every Cameron Brink, every Caitlin Clark I had in my case. Sold a couple Trinity Rodmans. Sold a few other. Actually, I sold a lot of Olympics cards. It was. I put it this way: if I had slabs and they were in my showcase, they disappeared by the end of the day. Friday was bananas. Friday was basically all the big deal guys, right? The guys that are coming to like buy out your showcase. They wanted to get there early. Saturday was more family friendly. Like I mentioned, the people that come up looking for like a single card of their favorite player, their favorite wrestler, their favorite athlete, whatever. And then Sunday, yesterday, was probably the slowest of the 3 days, but it was kind of good, right? It was a lot of like just networking and like talking about the weekend, and making some sales. Like it was still a very good sale day, but it wasn't the same as Friday and Saturday. It just was insane. Like I'm still on a high. I think people hating on it need to actually experience it before you hate on it. Like I see all these people online right now crying about it. Well, I think a lot of it's FOMO, and I think a lot of it's like FOMO, or they're so invested in the National that they're like, they don't want Fanatics Fest to be what it is. I think the National, it's their turn to step up, because if you've been the last couple of years, there's way too many people in too small of an area. There was plenty of room at Fanatics Fest. There was room to breathe. The AC worked. The internet worked for the most part. The getting out of the National was a shit show this year. We're in New York City. We requested an Uber. We were gone in 5 minutes. Unloading, loading, simple. It was an experience like none other. By far the best card show I've ever been to. By far the best fan experience event I've ever been to. Ruben did a great job. Shout out to him. I'm pumped for Orlando. We got to figure out if the card shop's going to go or not. We might just go as, instead of setting up this time, might go to buy. We don't know. We haven't really gotten that far yet. It's 2 months away. But, yeah, man, if you guys have the opportunity to check out the next Fanatics Fest in Orlando, I would 100% go.
Like, they literally nailed it. Knocked it out of the park. It definitely over-exceeded my expectations. Like, I didn't expect it to be to that magnitude. I didn't expect the athletes and the celebrities to be able to just walk around and, like, take pictures with the fans. And, like, fans were hugging on them, grabbing, just taking selfies, and everybody was inviting. It wasn't like usual when you go to events and, you can't get near the celebrities, you can't get near the athletes. Like, they definitely incorporated, like, every aspect you could ever imagine in sports and hobby collecting. As far as Fanatics, like, jumping into the industry, I think they're doing a fantastic job with products, obviously. The marketing has been exceptional, way better than what anything Panini or Topps or in the past has ever done. Just constant. You see social media rolling 24/7, like every hour on the hour, and that's across everything that Fanatics owns. Like Fanatics Live, the betting app, their lids, every single thing that they have a hand in, they're constantly putting out content. And I think that's the way you reach the broader audience. And if you're trying to 10x the hobby, which is what they've been saying for the last few years, I think they're definitely well on their way in doing so. I saw one video where they literally were walking up to, random people at Fanatics Fest that had on jerseys, and they were just like, are you a big fan of Allen Iverson? He's like, yeah. And he hands him an Allen Iverson autograph card, you know what I mean, for free. Like, that's the type of stuff no company has been doing. So it's like they just did a lot of the stuff that I know myself personally was always asking, how come no one's doing this? How come that isn't a big fan fest of like sports stuff and sports culture and all that? Like, these are questions I've been asking since I was in college, and that was in 2005. So like, it's great to see like a company finally coming in and making these things happen. It's really dope. The National will still be the National because it's like so many dealers, so many exhibitors within the actual card space. So I think that'll still be a good time because you can go there and find pretty much any card you're looking for. I do think that they are a little, they're kind of dinosaurs in it, and they do need to liven it up a little bit more. Like they had a lot of, like every year you get a ton of athletes that come there for autograph signings and stuff, but like, I mean, they could incorporate them a little bit more to make it better overall for the fan experience almost. You don't want to take too much away from the cards, but I think you do kind of need to put that jolt of energy in it. I do think that they'll start to reconsider where they're doing the Nationals. I think they'll start looking at, say, Atlanta or Dallas or Vegas. I think they'll try to start looking at different things, just because you can't keep having it in the same cities that everyone's complaining about. You know what I mean? And surprisingly, New York for Fanatics Fest, it was really easy to Uber into the city. It was really easy to park if you needed to, and it was easy evacuating. Like, it wasn't those hour-long lines in traffic just to get in and out, like you do at the National in Atlantic City or in Cleveland this past year.
I think for a first event, this event blew everyone's expectations totally out of the water. The way they integrated the celebrities with different kid aspects, with the amount of customers that they brought to the event in terms of people spending money at the different hobby tables, etc. If they use this as a template, I mean, obviously there's a few things they could do differently to probably improve the product, but at the end of the day, they crushed it. So I think going forward, it's probably an event that's only going to get better and better and better. Only thing I would say is if it's not in New York, I would question maybe, where the money's coming from and things like that. I think one of the big benefits of this, I think this is an event that should be in New York year after year after year, but that's just my opinion.
Check us out, Diamond Hill Road, if you're in the area. Got my Fanatics Fest hat on. Boom, C-Merc, Big Apple. Holla at your boy. Check out all my other videos. Subscribe. This channel is coming back stronger. Peace.